Oh, well, hello there, and welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to be talking about a holiday gift-giving guide to people that's just starting out in overlanding. And what a perfect example then to talk about the diesel heater here that I'm kind of just fooling around with. I'm trying something different. So of course, as you see, I have this kind of hooked up to my house right now. So that's one of the good things about some things in overlanding is you can kind of experiment with it and do some different things with them. So I'll bring you over here. It's not getting burnt, maybe. So let me flip you around. So as mentioned, this is the Vevor heater, diesel heater. This is one of the items on the list, and we'll talk about it a little bit more later. But I'm just trying to experiment with it just some. I've used it in the tent, it works wonderfully. If you want to just save a little bit on your electricity bill, this is a great way to do it. It does wonderfully with heating. And while we're out here talking about this and it's actually on, I'll let you listen. And I know a lot of people complain about the ticks of these diesel heaters, but as you can hear, hold on one second, I'll get the microphone actually off me, put it close by. The ticking is very, very quiet. But first, let's go buy a Christmas tree. I mean, it's that time of year, and that's what we're doing. We're talking about holiday gift giving guide. So we got to get in the holiday spirit. We're gonna get a Christmas tree, and then when I get back, actually from the Christmas tree, getting a Christmas tree, we'll actually go over the guide. Whew. Not an easy job. So successful in getting the Christmas tree cut down and taken care of. So we'll head back into the house and we'll discuss that budget list, or that list of kind of the things you should have, essential things for overlanding. Maybe you can get, maybe yourself for Christmas is just, extra bonus, or your significant other if that's something that y'all want to do together. But anyways, I think that y'all enjoy this list. Um, the truck done really well with getting the Christmas tree, of course, there's no problem there. I'll try to show you, or turn the camera around right quick if I can. Show you how I mounted it while I drive. And it's just hanging out back there. So as I said, it's doing okay. Got it strapped down pretty well. So what we'll do now is get back to the house and we will discuss that list. See you in a short bit. So one item that's actually, really specifically important to overlanding would be a tent. They make a lot of different types of tents in terms of, camping or overlanding. But if you're actually just beginning overlanding, what I found very helpful was this tent. As you can see here, the price is just, $119. If you're a Prime member, but you can get a multitude of variations of tents. There's a lot more expensive. There's ones that actually go over the cab of your truck. There's ones you have to have racks for. But if you're just starting out, this type of tent is very, very nice. I've used this tent. You've seen this in a couple of the videos that I've made. It's quite roomy. This specific one fits a 5-foot bed, as you can see, which is just the size of the Colorado's truck bed. It's very easy to set up. So if you're just beginning the overlanding experience, this is really a good place to start. The other item I wanted to share with you all was, actually having a way to air down your tires. Because if you're overlanding, you're going to be going off-roading quite a bit. You're going to be in a lot of rough terrain, dirt terrain, gravels, whatever it may be. You need to air down really quick, and something that can actually air you down quick. And from experience, what I found is this air down kit. I mean, it's relatively cheap. It's $33.97. There are some coupon codes right now, it seems available. As of, of course, this is December the 5th that I'm recording this. I'm not sure when the video will go out, but there may be some coupon codes at the time of this, when this video is released. But it does come with 4, and you can actually select exactly what PSI you would like your tires to be set to, each of the 4, and air down to that specific PSI.
It does work very quickly. If you have a tire pressure monitoring system, you can monitor it as the tire pressure decreases, depending on the type of vehicle you have. Regardless, it is very accurate. It's very quick. Um, you have them in and you have them out, and you're done. I highly recommend this. It's very cheap as well. So if you're going to overlanding or just camping in general, a way of cooking is actually very important. A single burner actually works very well. This one right here, it's not necessarily a name brand, but it does work. It's $29.99 on Amazon currently. It takes butane or propane. I've only used it under the butane, using butane as the fuel, but I've had quite a bit of success with butane. It does get colder towards the end of the tank, but I know when you go buy it at Walmart, the butane, it's maybe $2 or $3 versus a propane tank being $10. I think, well, $10 I think for one, and maybe $20 for two. I can't remember the exact price of the propane tanks, but butane is a lot cheaper. And I know Amazon does sell some butane fuel or in some packs of butane fuel, so if you search there, you can find it. But this gas one, propane stove actually works very well. Of course, they show you some. It comes with a box, a nice little carrying case. You can actually put a griddle on it if you want to use it that way. There's just a multitude of ways you can use it. It has 8,000 BTUs. I will say though, if it's windy, it's somewhat difficult to use. But I'd imagine even some of your name brands is going to be difficult in wind due to just, I mean, the burner, propane or probably the butane in general, just in windy conditions. Be cautious with that. Try to keep the wind off of it. I know in my experience in the last camping trip, I did try that. We actually used a shield behind it, being cardboard, but of course, try not to catch on fire. But just kind of keep the wind shielded away from it, and it does cook rather well. All right, this may not be necessarily a necessity for everyone, but if you're doing a weekend of overlanding or camping, and staying clean is important. Maybe at least one of the days. A portable shower is really nice, and these are relatively cheap. They're 30. This one's $38. It does not have a heating function. But I will say, if you do order the ones with heating functions, make sure you have the power source capable of supplying the power to the heater, because most of them do take, I think, 2,000 watts. So they're pretty high power consuming items. So what I found the last time, it was very windy again, so it's hard to heat the water. But you can usually take your propane, stove, and a cat or something to heat your water with, and heat the water on the propane, and then actually maybe just one little bit of water and add it to some cold water, and that can be your shower. It can be warm enough to have a decently warm 90-degree shower. And usually if you're heating water in your water heater, it's around 120 degrees typically. So if you're actually just wanting a decently warm shower, and that's very a nice commodity to have if you're out in the middle of the woods, this works really well. And I will say the battery life on this is very, very good, because I've used this twice. Between 4 times, give or take, in the 2 weekends we've been camping, and I think we have 50% battery power left on this device still yet, maybe even a little bit more. I would say it goes to this water quite quickly, the bucket anyways. Make sure you do take some water supply with you. Make sure you get some water, clean water, if you don't have a river or something nearby, or just some clean water. But anyways, it does come with a nice shower nozzle head. It comes with the way, I guess, if you're going to clean your dishes. Again, if you want to keep the bears away, you can wash off their dishes after you get done eating. But it comes with some nice accessories, and it's just a very nice kit for the price. So this, to me, is a very important thing to add to your overlanding experience. All right, I do feel like this item is important to add. It's a portable pop-up tent for the shower itself. And I know this might not be very popular to talk about, but you need this. If you're out in the middle of the woods, or even if you're maybe next to the road, just overlanding, dispersed camping. Sometimes you don't have a lot of privacy, or you hope to, but sometimes you don't end up in that exact spot. But if you have, and I didn't add this to the list, but a toilet is nice to have too, a portable toilet. Um, I will say that having this and the portable toilet together is very nice. So this item is a must, because you can use it for, again, I know this is not very popular probably to talk about in the video, but I'm going to mention it. You can use the shower and also your toilet. Again, camping is not necessarily always it's not like staying in your house, but it's just, that's part of it. It's part of camping. This is easy to pop up. I will say, putting it back down can be somewhat of an adventure. I think in my last YouTube video of the Cherokee National Forest, I showed you a little bit of how to take it down. It's a bit frustrating, but it will go down. It will fold back into its portable carrying case, which is right here. So you're getting this item back into here. Taking it out, it's very simple. It pops right up, but putting it back into the case can be a little bit of a struggle. Wind on this item is a little bit rough. Make sure you do use the stakes, supplied stakes. Make sure you use a rope too, especially if it's very windy. So the diesel heater, of course, depending on if it's winter, if it's, summer, we're right now we're in the winter months. So I did put this on there because I just purchased this right before the Cherokee National Forest overlanding experience. The diesel heater is very important. It's awesome. I think that this is a very great buy. I mean, $148. Uses very minimal power once it starts up, once it gets hot. Uses maybe 15 watts to, and maybe even less depending on what setting you have it on. I didn't purchase this exact one. I actually, as you may see in this video, mine's a little bit different, but this is comparable. I put this on there. I put this exact one on there because they didn't sell the one that I have anymore on Amazon, which is kind of odd because it was only just about a month or so ago that I purchased mine. But it is important if you're using a portable battery pack, let me get there, to have this item right here specifically. And that's actually the actual plug-in versus actually the 12-volt outlet. And a lot of your portable battery packs will not allow the 12-volt outlet to work because it does require a pretty substantial amount of power to start right up. Once it starts up and idles down to its heating effect, or once it's going to actually heat throughout the night, it does not use as much power. But that initial startup and heat up, it uses quite a bit of power. So it does require the AC outlet to do that. So that's the reason I included this specific model. Now, from what I understand, this model is an upgraded model from the one that I have, and a lot of the Vevor original models. It is more of a box model versus the stand-up model. So again, depending on the size of vehicle you're carrying in, this could be kind of cumbersome, but it seems like it's all inclusive. Nicely about this, it actually has a carbon monoxide alarm built in. I did on the Cherokee trip, I bought a carbon monoxide detector to put in the tent. You can just never be too safe, honestly. I had one that looked similar to this. Let me bring it up here. It is right here. It's more stand-up model, but this is only a 2K, 2K model versus the one I showed you all that I would purchase that's currently available, which is 8K model. It's plastic. The casing is plastic, but from what I understand, what I've read, the plastic is not an issue. And it seems like even with the metal one that I have, it's not an issue because I might show this in this video, or you might have seen this in this video. I did put some sound deadening in the inside of the case to keep the actual tick of the pump much quieter, and it works perfectly. It actually keeps the tick of the pump much quieter, and all you actually hear is exhaust. Highly recommend diesel heater if you're camping in the winter months, especially if you have access to a battery. You will not get cold. You will be probably too hot in your tent. So make sure they probably keep it at the lowest setting if you're using one of the truck tents. And that's one thing I want to add. Let's go back to that one section and back to the actual truck tent. I did not add this. If you get this Joy Tutus tent that I showed you all earlier, let's go back to it. I don't know if it has a picture of it. Okay. Right here in the very back, let me see. The very back of the tent here, zoom into it. This actually right here can be a diesel heater port. Very nice. It actually has an area that you can actually just snake the hose from a diesel heater up to it right here and right through the hole. And you actually have ability to have your diesel heater right above where you'd be sleeping, and it holds it perfectly. So that works awesome. So anyways, that's just a side note. Next item on the list is going to be a portable battery. I don't have any experience necessarily with the EcoFlow brand, but I've heard quite a few good reviews with this brand. I have a very generic brand that I bought about 5 or 6 years ago that's no longer offered. It's right before the portable batteries got really popular. But now EcoFlow is a very highly recommended brand. This one actually allows up to 600 watts. Mine only allows up to 300 maximum power. This has 256 watt hours. It's relatively cheap at $189. And they offer, I think on this page, you can get several different models. It looks like, again, they have one that has maybe a solar panel available. Let's go to there right quick. Yes, so they have one that's 257 that has a solar panel. If you have the extra money, I recommend a solar panel because that's nice. If it's sunny, you can get the extra power. If you don't have access to maybe a way to convert your energy from your truck or whatever you're driving into the actual battery. So here's another option as well. Let's see what it offers. It's just a different battery pack. It actually has 600 watt hour or 600 watts, 245 watt hours. So this is actually an upgraded model. Um, this might be a little bit better. And I guess this is the upgraded model with the solar panel itself. So if you do have the extra spend or extra ability to spend money, this would probably be the model to buy because it's the newest model available. And right now it actually seems like it's the same amount of money, being $257. But again, if you're going camping, having a portable battery is very important because you can charge, your camera, you can charge multiple different items. You can, you use your diesel heater, whatever it may be. I will say a portable battery will run a diesel heater throughout the night, and then you can use your truck to recharge it as you're driving and you're maybe going off-roading. You can charge it while you're driving. I would say that this is a very, very important must to have if you're going overlanding. Another important thing, of course, is having a mattress. You can have a tent, but laying in a truck bed without a mattress would be very uncomfortable. Prior to this specific type of mattress, we had a blow up mattress. It was very uncomfortable, so I would not include that in the must haves because honestly, this one's about the same price and it was much, much more comfortable. There is various different types or sizes, I should say. Twin size, I will say, fits comfortably in the back of the bed of a Colorado. It fills up, both sides of the wheel wells. This one's $120. It's basically like sleeping in a bed. It's not that much more uncomfortable. Of course, this one's 3 inches thick. It's a memory foam. It does fold up. It's a little bit, difficult to fold, but it does have a way to actually wrap it back up into like a taco shape, we'll say. But it works. It's very nice. And it looks like they have different colors, I guess, depending on what you're looking for. This is another item I put on the list that I don't necessarily have a lot of experience with, at least this brand. But I would say having an air compressor, especially if you're off-roading, is important because if you're airing down, once you get back on the hardtop, you need the air back up to your recommended pressure. I know the Colorado's, the recommended pressure is 35 psi. This actual air compressor seems like it actually is designed for a 4x4, so for your higher or bigger tires. I will probably eventually upgrade to an onboard portable air compressor to actually have a tank on the truck itself. If I can find somewhere to mount the tank, whether it be underneath the truck or something of that nature. Because I will say I have a cheaper air compressor, or not really necessarily a cheaper air compressor, but just a smaller air compressor. Actually, a couple of them that aren't necessarily designed for 4x4s or 4x4 tires, are more designed for like a car tire. And it just takes so long to actually pump up the tires. So having a larger air compressor or having a portable air tank it can be very, very nice because you can get those tires pumped up quite a bit quicker, going in between trails and then on back into the pavement. So from what I researched on Amazon, it seems like this is probably a good purchase. It's kind of in the middle of the road. It's midway. It's $160. Um, they have some nicer ones here. It looks like almost $200 here, but it actually has a built-in tank, which is nice. Um, so it has a 6 liter tank, and I think it has a way to actually just hook it up directly to your battery. But just with anything else, there's a way probably to snip these and actually wire it directly to your battery or to a switch panel, and then mount this somewhere in the bed of your truck. Again, if you're sleeping in the bed of your truck, that might be a little bit more difficult, but just finding somewhere to mount it. Again, you wouldn't just have to, you just have somewhere to put it. And it has actually, some extra hose here to actually be able to, run it to your tires, and it has a way to check your tire pressure. It just seems like an all-inclusive kit. And my last item that I put on the list was a camera. Now, I put the GoPro Hero 10. I have some experience with this one. I have a lot more expensive cameras than I have, Hero 11 Mini as well, and I have this one as well. I bought this one actually used. I will say that this one's rather nice. It actually works well, but it doesn't have as good camera quality as the Mini 11. But if you want something kind of middle of the road, the GoPro Hero 10 Black works very, very well. If you just want something action camera wise, this is a go-to. GoPro has very, very good quality. Sound quality on the GoPros aren't necessarily the best. If you want good sound quality and good video quality all in one, a good kit to purchase is the Osmo Pocket 3. But anyways, if you just want to start out somewhere and actually have a video, this is also a location to start. But honestly, if you're just wanting to record, having a mount for your phone and mounting it on your dash or something of that nature is a good place to start as well. But recording those memories, if you're going off-roading or if you're going on an overlanding adventure, and just keeping those memories can be very helpful. But this is my list. This is my 10 items that I feel like are budget friendly or somewhat budget friendly items for if you're starting out overlanding. There's probably some more items and there's some better items out there. Maybe a lot more expensive items. Just as anything, I mean, you can go well above, well more expensive with, or you can maybe go a little bit cheaper. But this is kind of your more budget-ish to mid-level, affordability, but your basic items that you would need to do some overlanding or have fun for a weekend and camping.
This doesn't necessarily make the budget friendly list, but I am going to include this on this video. One thing I do recommend highly getting if you are doing any type of overlanding is a good set of wheels and tires, and specifically the tires. Something that's actually a 10-ply tire, such as the Falcon Ruby Trex or just a Falcon Wild Peak AT3s, AT4s, the KO3s or BFG KO3s, KO4s. I think it's the KO2s, KO3s. The Toyo, I think the Toyo, I can't remember the Toyo brands, but there are several brands out there that are 10 plies. Just a good tire that you can actually go off-roading with. A lot of these are actually going to be 3-peak rated for snow. So just something that's going to be actually very diverse, something that's going to be diverse, whether it be an all-terrain, mud terrain, just something that you actually take out there and actually get off-road with. That's just another addition. Again, it's not very budget friendly, but it is something that is recommended. That concludes my budget list for the items for a holiday list for overlanding. It's not all inclusive. There's a lot more items that you can purchase that are actually budget friendly or that just are a little bit more pricey. Again, just feel free to kind of browse around and find what fits you. What are some things you would like to add, or what are some things you are going to add maybe for your Christmas list? Or maybe in the future, what are some things you'd like to add just in general for overlanding? Anyways, I appreciate y'all watching. We're getting so close to 1,000 subscribers. Thank you all for being supportive again, and I hope you all have a happy holidays. This may not be the last video before Christmas or before the end of the year, of course. I hope to put out some more. But again, if something happens, I don't get one out right before Christmas, I hope you all have a wonderful and Merry Christmas. See y'all next time.